The Disney earnings call is finally here, and Bob Iger is beginning his farewell tour. The final year, and Q1 is coming up in just a few hours if you're watching this video at the time of release. So folks, let's get down to a preview of what we think might be happening at the house, the home that Walt built. Hello, folks, and welcome again. It is early if you're watching this video at the time of release, 6:30 in the AM. My goodness, but guess what? In just a few hours, Disney will be releasing their earnings report, and we're going to be getting information over the next few hours as to what has been going on. We're here to tell you, and we're going to assess this in just a few. The Q1 is not nearly as damaging probably as Q2 and Q3. We do need to say, though, that we are not giving any financial advice today. Please don't make any financial decisions based on what we are going to confer, but we are going to refer to the stock price and how it's been performing over the past months, years, even decades, perhaps. Folks, let's dive in and we'll tell you what you should expect today and coming your way in the quarters that follow. From the Motley Fool, Disney stock has a lot to prove this week. This is by Rick Muñariz. Muñariz, that's what I'll go with. Disney reports its fiscal first quarter results before the market opens for trading on Wednesday. Folks, that means that you'll need to tune in tomorrow at, is Valiant starting at 8 a.m. Eastern, Jonas? Is that when he's going?
8 a.m. Eastern time, yeah.
Folks, be there. I'll be there. Jonas will be there. We'll have others there. Mexican Iron Man, a sighting may happen. Analysts see revenue rising 4% on a 17% jump in earnings per share. Beyond the numbers, like any good entertainment company, Disney tends to pack its reports with a lot of insight on upcoming attractions. Now, I'm going to tell you that if the revenue only rises 4%, that's going to be seen as a mixed bag. No financial advice being given here, folks. Please do not make any financial decisions based on what we say. The reason, though, is that if revenue only rises 4%, then that may be under the rate of inflation. And that would mean that Disney is not keeping up with the rate of inflation, and therefore transactional power is actually decreasing. It says the media giant can't top last year's fiscal first quarter fireworks, but it might still light up the sky this time. And of course, you'll recall the year to year, the first quarter last year, the reason that it lit up the sky was because of Nelson Peltz, because there was a proxy war going on. And of course, we know that Nelson Peltz was not successful in getting on board. Although that may have been detrimental to Disney overall because they didn't have a scapegoat, but the stock shot up as the two sides battled to get control of the company. It says it's time to see how much cheese the House of Mouse scored over the past few months. Walt Disney reports its fiscal first quarter results on Wednesday morning. It should be another period of modest top-line growth and healthy bottom-line improvement, but don't expect the same kind of fireworks from last February. We just explained why, and they admit it right here. Disney had a proxy battle. All right. Here's what they're expecting. Disney announced that its annualized cost savings by the end of fiscal 2024 would top its earlier ambitious goal of $7.5 billion. Now, this is where it's going to get, folks, this is where you, as interested parties who tune into this channel every day, you're going to be able to see behind the smoke screen. Get ready. Here's what Disney's claiming. This is what they're going to use for their big wins. In the peak of Taylor Swift mania, Disney Plus started streaming the theatrically popular Taylor Swift The Eras Tour concert film in March. Okay. Well, that's something.
What?
Yeah. The board cleared the path for up to $3 billion in share buyback.
I'm sorry. Let's just emphasize the word choice they put. Streaming the theatrically popular. Yeah. It did not hit on Disney Plus. It did not.
I mean, some of this stuff is just a little retreading. A Disney Plus animated series based on Moana was fleshed out into a full-length theatrical feature. Moana 2 was one of just 3 movies coming out in the 2024 calendar year to top $1 billion in worldwide box office receipts. Scoring bonus points, all 3 films were Disney movies. Okay, well, that would be a plus for Disney. All right, so then they go to the to how Disney has performed over the past year. I want to show you, though, we'll look at this in greater fidelity here. All right, folks, let's take a look year to date for Disney. Disney is up 2.8% year to date. Never mind, 1.9% year to date at the time of recording. The problem there, of course, is that that's just not keeping up. So if you've been holding Disney for a year, you're losing compared to the rest of the stock market. Again, no financial advice. If we go to the 5-year, Disney's down still exactly where they have been since we've been doing these recordings last few weeks. Disney's down 20% over the past 5 years. So if you've been holding Disney, you're down 20%. But that actually, that's actually kind of a good reading of this, because what you really care about is, if I bought in for all of 2021, where am I at? And you're down about 45%. That's painful. That's painful to lose 45% of your investment at a time when other stocks have been doing well. So, Jonas, stock earnings call preview for tomorrow. What are you looking for to hopefully see Disney get some kind of win?
I would like to see where they are with Disney Plus, which is not going to be. It's still not a good use of money for the company right now. But I would like to see where the subscriber numbers are on Disney Plus. They've been throwing everything they can at trying to get those numbers moving in the other direction. There is a story we probably need to cover, that they've just changed the terms of service on Disney Plus to say that even the ads-free people will also be getting ads on the Disney Plus platform now. So
wow,
yeah, that's one that's, I'm sure, going to be very popular here. I think that's going to be a big focus. They are probably going to be talking about ESPN and what's coming there. If they need anything before the annual shareholders call to hit big, they're going to announce it all on the Wednesday morning earnings call, like they did last year. If they've got anything in the tank that they can announce at this point, which they don't really, because they already announced the Cars thing, the destruction of Rivers of America. They've already announced the Monsters Inc. land. They've already announced the Villains land. They have a lot of retreading of previous things that they can do. They don't have a lot that they can actually say is coming, unless they just want to announce more blue sky stuff. Maybe they can talk about this Fubo and Hulu merger, but that is a subset of something they don't really want to focus on. So I don't see a lot here that they can do, and it in a way it kind of indicates that the end of the Iger era of all these pixie dusting calls, where they try to talk about Mickey Mouse and the things you might see from Mickey on the calls. They have to be grown-ups. And
I think Iger's finale could be a big fail, and that's what we're watching. Derek, one of the things that might happen during the earnings call tomorrow, and why everybody should tune in to Valiant Renegade, one of the things that could happen is you could get questions about the Trump era. You could get questions asking about, are you going to be in the resistance? How are you going to approach DEI? Are you going to follow the edicts of the EEOC and the new Trump business administrations and all of that? Or are you going to fold? Are you going to be bold and brave and stop them? What do you think could happen here, Derek, in terms of how Iger and the CFO might respond to questions like that?
Yeah, they're going to have to do the political dance at some point in time or another, because that's the climate. That's where we are right now. So I can see that coming out and those questions being asked, said, hey, where are you guys at with the political climate right now? Where Hollywood is, we see a lot of folks kind of worried about the way that entertainment is moving currently. Especially over here in LA, a lot of jobs are starting to leave the area. So I'm curious to see what he has to say, if there is any questions along those lines. How do you plan to help keep jobs leaving the country? I mean, they do a lot of shoots over in London, when it comes to Star Wars and things like that. Are you guys going to try to keep more jobs here? I would love to hear Bob Iger answer questions like that, because, frankly, with Trump now in office, there is more, like you said, patriotism, and people want to see, like, everybody get on board. It's like, okay, let's go. It's time to make America great again. Are you on board, Disney? Or are you guys thinking some other direction? And based on how Disney has performed in the past, they're probably thinking in a different direction, and they're probably going to try to oppose some of these new movements. But I feel like when it comes to Disney, and like Jonas said, I think Disney Plus is the main interest point for me, because they've sunk a lot of money into it and they really haven't seen the return on their investment. So if I was a Disney shareholder, that's where I would be looking. But yeah, I'm curious to see what he thinks about the new climate for the next 4 years. How is he going to move and operate within that climate? Are you going to start? We saw them pull back a little bit on the what was the show, the Pixar show. They're kind of pulling back from some of the wokeness. They're getting some of that out. So is that going to continue? I'm interested to see where they're going to go with that.
I would love a question, Derek, from one of these. And I don't think they're going to go this far. I do think that tomorrow's going to be a fireworks kind of thing where we get a lot of Trump questions. I would love a question from one of the reporters to Disney about their health insurance policies for their employees, and ask, are you going to fight back against Trump and continue to offer money for cutting the twigs and berries in your medical coverage? I don't know if that'll happen, but boy, wouldn't you love to hear Bob Iger squirm under that kind of question?
Oh, that would be fun.
Lorena, we're looking at this earnings call coming out tomorrow from Disney, and there could be fireworks involved, especially in the Q&A session. Disney is facing a political landscape that they never anticipated, and they're also facing what I call the triple threat. And the triple threat is the box office could be bad this year. Disney Plus is exposed with this latest ratings report on Acolyte, Agatha, etc. And the Disney parks are in trouble. Let's focus on the Disney parks for a minute. I think Epic Universe is a big deal. It could really wallop the House of Mouse. What say you?
Oh.
Where do I start? Well, let's just say I stayed at the Stella Nova Resort, which is the Value Plus resort that one of them that Universal has, that is literally across the street from Epic Universe. I have seen windmill blades light up with fire over there in Dark Universe. I've seen the little cars jump over at Donkey Kong Country. I've seen some of the testing that they've been doing over at Isle of Berk, the Celestial Carousel and Celestial Park. The sheer scale and location of where Epic Universe is going to be a big threat to Disney. And it already is. And it's something that cannot be downplayed.
But Lorena, what if I told you that Disney is planning to destroy Muppet Vision and put in a random Monsters animated short? What do you still think that Epic Universe has no chance, or that Disney has no fear of Epic Universe?
Oh gosh, it's like playing in the band as the Titanic sinks. That's pretty much Disney right now, destroying a beloved attraction, and not just beloved because people love the Muppet characters, but beloved because that is the last thing that Jim Henson worked on.
Absolutely. Ron, let me show you this. This is out from the Motley Fool, still reading farther down. Analysts see revenue rising 4% to $24.55 billion for the seasonally potent 3 months ending in December. That small step isn't a deal breaker. Revenue growth was actually flat for the prior year's blowout fiscal first quarter. In fact, this will be Disney's 7th straight report of a single-digit top-line growth. There are some good reasons for the meandering revenue results. Meandering? Rival Comcast just posted a 2% top-line increase for the same period, and that included flat results for its theme park business. Now, the reason for that, folks, is because people are waiting to go until Epic Universe, and everybody knows it. Disney's domestic gated attractions have also been marching in place. Gains for Disney's studio business and Disney Plus will probably be partly offset by the steady retreat of its legacy linear networks segment. It's troublesome that analysts were holding out for a 5% year-over-year jump in revenue a month ago, but this is largely a bottom-line growth story. So, Ron, they're going to blame it on linear networks. They're going to blame it on ABC. I'm not sure that's going to be sufficient this time. I don't know. Maybe.
Man, I wanted to go back and look at the $3 billion successful movies that Disney did put out over the last year. All three of them had one very particular thing in common. Inside Out 2, apparently there was a kind of a storyline pulled back from that at the last minute. And I don't love the word, but we're just going to say that they unwoked it, if you will. Then there was Deadpool and Wolverine, and then there was Moana 2. All three of those, none of them had anything in the storylines that I think anyone would consider as quote unquote woke, or what we feel that way, right? So they were pretty straightforward storylines in those movies. Moana specifically went back to that animation style that people loved, where Wish that came out last year was 2 years ago was like kind of flat and gray and didn't have that vibrant colors. Moana kind of was a return to form, if you will, when that came out, and so I think people gravitated toward that. I was just looking at the Mufasa live action box office number. Has only got like 600 grand or 600 million, I should say, worldwide, so it's very, very different. This year, the slate coming out from Disney doesn't look remotely as promising as those three movies combined. That, and then you combine that with what's going on in the parks, or what is not going on in the parks, because it's really weird. The people that love the parks, we've all spoken up about what we'd like to see and what we want, and none of that seems to. It's like when we're talking to Disney, we're talking to a brick wall. They don't want to do anything that the fans want at Disney World. Instead, they want to make Epcot's center area into a quad for college students. Basically, it's just the most boring place now. Then you've got destroying the rivers of America. You've got getting rid of Jim Henson's legacy of Muppets. You've got a giant crane sitting in the Magic Kingdom right now that you can't not look at when you go there. Your focus when you're taking the boat towards the Magic Kingdom, and your focus should be on Cinderella's castle, you can't help but veer to the left and look at that stupid giant crane that's right there. And all
Cranezilla, that's what I call it.
It's horrible. All of this in the face of Epic Universe opening, and a lot of other movies coming out that I think people will want to veer towards. Also, who cares about Taylor Swift on Disney Plus? I don't even know why they even put that reference in there.
Because the Super Bowl. That's why. They're going to try to connect the popularity of Taylor Swift, especially as we get the Super Bowl. Ron, let me just say this, as you and I want to get more of your thought. I don't want to stop you. If I were running a business, and if my business was Disney World, and I heard the level of dislike for destroying Jim Henson's last work, what I would say is, all right, we're going to leave that alone. We've got 3 other ways we can get to exactly where we plan to put this Monsters thing, and we're still going to do Monsters. Still going to do it, but we'll leave Jim Henson's final work alone. You can still have it. Not a problem, folks. We're here to help you. And they never do that. Like, they double down on disliked projects every single time.
The one thing that made the Sonic movies work, and now we have 3 of them that have all proved to be successes, is that they listened to their audience when the audience said, Sonic looks like crap, you need to go back and change that, which they did. Okay. It would not be a difficult thing for Disney to go rework, for example, Rivers of America. Let's figure out where to put Cars somewhere else. How about with Monsters, Inc.? You could literally just do the ride. If you look at the plans of where they're putting it, they don't have to do all of Monstropolis. They don't really. You could literally just do the one ride back where it's going to be, which is actually beyond all of the Muppets area right now, and leave Muppets alone. Leave what is it, Mama? What's the Italian restaurant there?
Mama Melrose.
Leave Mama Melrose alone. What's been closed for a long time that people loved is the Muppet store that's right there. That looks like the back.
Yes.
It's devastating to see this. I don't know who they think is going to be coming to the Walt Disney World properties in the future. But typically what you want to do is make sure that you keep things in check for the people that are longtime fans, and kind of veer slowly towards those people, showing their offspring what good time they have, and then also making something that those offspring can turn to later on as they grow up. And this is going to be passed on from generation to generation. And I just see a lot fewer people wanting to come to Disney World. The people that are coming now I see so many comments of people that are coming now thinking that Disney World was going to be something else. They're paying $6,000 to $15,000 for a family of 4 for a vacation of 5 days to get to Disney World, and they're really disappointed in what they see. And I know Lorraine has seen the comments too, over and over and over again. The people from out of state coming in, people from out of the country coming in, are really disappointed because it's not the Walt Disney World they were told it was, because that Walt Disney World left the building 10 years ago.
Yeah, now they're getting yelled at by, CMs with hardly any training in customer service, where they should be, where the fireworks are. It's not the same experience. I don't see a lot of happy faces at the Disney parks. It's more of like, I'm stuck in my phone. What do I do next? I'm getting overcharged for this. How come I can't go with, go do whatever I want to do because I have to get the fast pass or the lightning lane, or I have to get the ultimate fast pass, whatever it is. It's just like, it's so frustrating trying to navigate the park, especially considering how much it costs to go. But to Ron's point about the Muppets, and I've heard people say, well, interest in the Muppets, it's not that interesting anymore. Case in point, SeaWorld. Okay. SeaWorld has a literal replica of Sesame Street. And I did a live
Yes, it does.
not too long
Yes,
ago.
it does.
And when we walked through there, I can't tell you how many people in my stream automatically start talking about all the great stuff and great memories that they remember from Sesame Street. And we see Hooper's store. And what do people start talking about? What happened when Mr. Hooper died?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's just perfect how it looks. It looks like you're literally right there at Sesame Street.
I freak out when Big Bird comes out. Like Big Bird is like there, and he's the actual size. He comes out and he does story time, and you're like, I kind of freak out. I'm like, I go back to my little kid mode, and I'm like, I'm like 5 feet in front of Big Bird, and he's reading a story. I'm taken back to my 6-year-old self. It's so cool.
Well, folks, here's what we can say when it comes to the Disney earnings call, to bring it back just a bit. This earnings call we're looking at is likely to be heavily based on how do you respond to Trump and the Disney leadership responding to that. But what Lorena and Ron are speaking so passionately about when it comes to the parks, that's going to be Q2, Q3. Those are going to be the upcoming earnings calls. And I got a feeling Bob Iger is going to have to say it's really dang hot, because he's going to have some excuse. It's getting hotter by the second under the collar and at the parks for Bob Iger. And Bob Iger is going to be more exposed than a guest of Kanye West going to an award ceremony real soon. It is such fun getting to spend time together, folks, but we have come to the end of yet another video. Well, that makes the mainstream scratch their heads, pull their hair out, and wonder, how is it we continue to do what we do? But you know what we do this for? It's for you, to keep bringing all the knowledge of entertainment, explaining what's going on in Hollyweird each and every day. And you can help us continue on that way by clicking the like button. Share, subscribe, click it, stick it to those algorithms. It's the notification bell. Share this out on your favorite social media platforms, and we would love to have you drop a comment right on down below. Share your thoughts because, well, your thoughts truly do matter, and we mean it. As we get ready to say goodbye, we end with the common refrain. Folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun. Jump into the water.
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun. Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.